afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stream of Card Consciousness. I am Mark Ford, and as always, joined by my friend, my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith. How are you today, Greg?
I'm doing great, Mark. I'm trying to get interested in these games today, and I just really can't. So I don't know. We'll talk about some football here in a little while, and go through some other things. But life's good. Life's good. Can't complain. We're getting ready to get hit with some cold weather, so we're all buttoning up and buckling down, and we'll see how it goes. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. We just were talking. I'm going to enjoy the last few hours of 85-degree day here when we're done. And it's going to be a little cold here, but not like snow and all that everybody else is experiencing. So I hope everybody's staying safe. And, if you got nothing else to do and you still got power, you can always watch our show.
That's true. That's true. So you've got some. I've got some cards of the week. I'll go ahead and lead off with, and just kind of a blast from the past and a couple of things that I've had for a little while that I may have shown or may not. But first, I wanted to do this one, which is a Wilbur Wood. Um, that's a rookie card, Wilbur Wood autographed. So I got somebody sent this to me as a gift, and he just recently passed. So if you look at Wilbur Wood's numbers, his rookie card, it's a 6 with a 10 auto, which is pretty cool. He was really good, and 1971 he had almost 12 WAR, which is kind of crazy. So he was a good pitcher and recently passed, and from all accounts was just a great guy and loved to talk about baseball and just was friendly to everybody. So that's a nice Red Sox Wilbur Wood rookie card signed that is in my PC. This next one here, I look at this from time to time, and Jennifer Roach, the card she sent us, the Yaz with the 71, 8675309 is the serial number, made especially for Greg Smith. So it's just very cool, and it just, again, thank you, Jennifer. So my Folly Man for the week, a 1981 Topps Archie Griffin. So I'm not even really sure where I got this.
Why?
Yeah, a 1981 Topps Archie Griffin, PSA 7. So, and it's a recent. I mean, it's not an old cert number, so it's in the nines. This is a fairly recently graded card. It's not sure what people are doing sometimes. And then I know you've got a couple of these, or maybe one or two, these Jersey Fusion cards. You brought one up to me the other day, and I had to dig out my Ted Williams. So these aren't worth a ton, and it's debatable on authenticity, but I'm pretty sure from what I've read they are authentic. It's got a piece of his jersey, so just pretty cool. Ted Williams, game used, Jersey Fusion. I got something I need to get to you, and I was looking at his career numbers. Frank Lewis auto from the Bills in 1981, he had 1,244 yards, so he was pretty good. He's a good player, and I've got this sitting, and one of these times when I mail you something up there or down there, I'll get this to you, I promise. And then the last two, following your lead, I'm kind of slowly building up my Hank Aaron PC. So I got this Fence Busters card, which is cool. It's a 1958. It's got Hank and Eddie Matthews and Joe Adcock and Del Crandall on it. And it's just a cool card,
Yeah,
just a
definitely.
1958. Yeah. Yeah. So Fence Busters. And then the last one is the magic of what you can do. And it's from what I've recently discovered also, thanks to Richard Kavorka, this is the red line version, which is more rare than the blue line version, a 1962 post Hank Aaron. So on the back, if you see here, it's got a little bit of staining on it, a little bit of residue, but this was like a raised bubble of junk. And I just took a pair of scissors to it and kind of, it looks about 50 times better than it did. PC all the way, and just thanks to Eric Hotailing for that one. Just going to kind of build my Hank PC as slowly as I go, since Yaz is kind of dried up for me a little bit again. So, just collecting some Hank and doing that. So those are my cards of the week, just real quick. And just some things that mean something to me and things that I don't, always get to show everybody. So yeah, that Archie Griffin, man, I don't understand that. The Tops.
But
Anyway.
Wilbur Wood, yeah, we've talked
Yeah.
about him a few times because I have an auto too that he sent me, and yeah, that stretch in the early '70s, that 3-4 year period, he was as good as anybody in the game. I mean, he
Right.
was really, really good. and he knows how to use a pen, nice signature, and as you said, seems to be a really nice guy. And it's too
Yeah,
bad, R.I.P. Yeah,
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 I'm super pleased with that. I mean, I didn't even realize that was his rookie card until I looked it up, and I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty amazing." And he was an underrated pitcher. Not going to go quite as far as saying he needs to be in the Hall of Fame or
Oh
anything,
no,
but
no, not at all. But he had a
yeah,
hell of a run there in the early '70s.
yeah,
He was dynamite.
absolutely. Well, rest in peace, Mr. Wood, and great
And Frank
signature. And huh?
Frank Lewis was my like favorite player. Me and my dad, I've said that before. He was big. People don't realize how big he was. He was like probably 6'3", maybe bigger. Just a big dude, and he could run and catch. He had 2,000-yard seasons with the Bills back to back. Just the next year he did it again. And
Nice.
he was incredible. I mean, that was those 1980, 1981 Buffalo Bills teams were they're really good and they could play defense. And they had Joe Cribbs and Ferguson was amazing at that time. And they
Yeah,
had Jerry Butler. And the defense was talk about defense. I mean, that defense was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. They called it the Bermuda Triangle defense. And what that has to do with Buffalo, I have no idea, but that's what they called it. And
you
Ferguson
go in
played
there
on a
and you get
broken
lost.
ankle in the AFC Championship game against the Chargers, or the week before the AFC Championship in the divisional round, and then the Chargers went to Cincinnati and got clubbed down in that game. It was like 30 below zero.
Yeah, I
So,
remember that game. That was
you
crazy.
35-year-old Ron Smith blowing by falling down 35-year-old Bill Simpson, the Bill safety, and he caught like a 60-yard touchdown from fouls with a couple minutes to play. But Fergie played with a broken ankle. He hurt it up in New England at the end of the year, and he played. It was broken. And had he been healthy, I think the Bills would have went to the Super Bowl that year for sure.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I mean, they had a lot of offensive firepower. It looked like back in that era. The Bills did. He had
Oh yeah,
Cribbs, like you said, and Jerry Butler and Frank Lewis, and um, Bill Simpson was good when he was with the Rams. I think y'all got him at the
he
tail
good
end.
Buffalo too. He fell
Yeah,
down. What are you gonna do? That's as we
right.
witnessed by Buffalo's recent playoff flame out. That's the history of Buffalo, and it did not start with the Josh Allen era Bills. It has gone back through their history of losing games bizarre and heartbreaking fashion. It's a legacy. It's the
Yeah,
legacy of the Bills that's what happens, and that's the way it goes.
right, right. Well, let's see what you have for cards of the week, and
All
then
right, I
we
just
can
have a
we can
couple. Yeah,
we can
real
go off
short.
in Bills and Dolphins direction if you want, because
I
we
don't
both
have
have.
much to say, but we can. So this one, uh, I was really into Andre Dawson, and then kind of like you at Yaz, I kind of filled the cup, so to speak, and moved off. But I got this card, the auto. I got this on eBay. And it's just a beautiful signature, and it's in the Montreal uniform. And Andre Dawson knew how to use a pen. And for me, that's the most pretty signature in baseball. I know there's some great ones. Raleigh Fingers has a great signature, and there's others that have beautiful penmanship. Early win. Oh my God, his signature is nice. But so I got that Andre Dawson. I don't even know what year it is, but that's really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
And then
Great
I know
signature, like you
this will
said.
drive you nuts. I got this in a claim sale. And but what I like about this is like the dawn of when autos and patches and all that stuff are coming out. And I love this guy. I know you don't, but I absolutely love him. And to me, he's everything that the Bills have been and should have been as Jordan Poyer. And this is a
Yeah,
Jordan Poyer. December 17th, 2017 against the Miami Dolphins jersey patch. So, it could be, who knows, a piece of his underwear or whatever we would go on. But the fact that it has the date and it has the opponent, and it is ironic that it's the Dolphins because you're uh, you're a Dolphin fan and I'm a Bill fan. He was a warrior, and I'm pretty certain his career is over. And what he did with Buffalo this year, coming back and after his debacle in Miami last year and really helped the team. And had he not been hurt, I think they would have had a different result. But I love Jordan Poyer. I know you don't, but that's the beauty of life. We can agree to disagree and, still be friends.
it's not so much that I don't like Jordan Poyer, because if I was a Bills fan, I probably would love him. He's a warrior, like you said, and did a lot of good things for Buffalo. Just when he came to Miami, that play where I think he broke
He did.
Coleman's
He ruined
wrist.
Keon Coleman. So everybody with all the hysteria about Keon Coleman, well, until Jordan Poyer broke his damn wrist, he was kicking ass.
He was doing good. But I mean, it's 4th and 15. He's not going to catch it. He's going out
Right.
of bounds. Poyer hits him late, and then just some of the comments he made after the season were not. Um, Kind of made me wonder if he really was playing for Miami or he was playing to not beat Buffalo. It was just kind of weird some of the stuff he said. So that's really my only beef with him is that was a huge play because if we win that game, we're in the playoffs. And it
Definitely.
just it was 4th and 15. We would have had the ball and we would have won the game. We would kneel down and done. And he just couldn't control himself. So anyway, great. Like I said, if I was a Bills fan, I'd probably love him. I'm not a Bills fan. I was pulling for you guys last weekend though, for real, and I think y'all got hosed. And those are cool cards though. That's something that I would definitely enjoy if I was a Bills fan. The patch and the date, and you get patches sometimes, and it says now that there's no guarantee it was even ever worn in a game. But when they're giving it the provenance like they do there, that's pretty cool. So I would
Yeah, that's
enjoy
why
that.
I dig it. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
neat.
And yeah, Andre Dawson, man, him, Harmon Killebrew, Jim Rice's signature is good. Jerry Royce had the best signature I've ever seen. I mean, it's
Oil
so
Can
good.
Boyd, right? We had the oil
Oh
can.
yeah, yeah, Oil Can last show that was beautiful.
Yeah,
So
oil
I
can.
mean, people cared, and you can just tell now it's like a little squiggly line, and maybe it's because they have to sign so much, or just they don't learn how to write, or we've talked about that too. So I don't know, but that Andre Dawson always has a beautiful signature. So congrats to you. How many Andre autos do you have now?
4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's
I
about the
probably
same.
stop. I had to get it was cheap. It was only $15, so
Oh yeah,
whatever. Might as well add it.
yeah. Anytime you can get that for $15, that's a win.
Hmm.
So all right, well, I'm gonna let you choose your own adventure here. What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about your sale? You want to talk about the
Yeah, definitely.
Bills?
We'll talk about the
All right.
sale I just had because it's again, I've been I have had issues with people that I buy cards from and having problems and struggles and the lunatic fringe and all that stuff. But I had a sale this weekend. I have a sale every week or so and just have a good time. But we were talking about how, we see a preponderance of overpriced cards and sales. Like there was a seller, he was selling, I think, like a 1978 Willie McCovey for $8 and just
Mm-hmm.
cards of that nature. And we see it all the time. And then they become annoyed they don't sell their cards or they're like on some island of like superiority that I don't know it's hard to explain when they price cards at 2, 3, 4x and somebody makes an honest offer on it and they seem to be offended but so I mean
Right.
I combat that pretty much. This isn't like a pat myself on the back show but if you're a seller, what I would recommend if you want success is that you don't look at every individual card. You look at the totality of it all. What do I have in the sale? Just an example. If I have $100 I spent in the sale, well, I need to get $100, right? How am I going
Right.
to get it? So that's to break even. I don't really try to make a ton of money on what I do just because my entertainment, my joy is interacting with people and doing stuff with people. There's Bean. Everybody say hi to Bean. So this is why sometimes it can be difficult because always stuff in the house. But anyways, so but you want to make a couple bucks so you can be able to keep the party train rolling and keep the sales going. So you look at the totality of it. I mean, I had a Luke Skywalker rookie card. It was condition, meh.
Yeah.
And I sold it for $1 as a tribute to when I broke the internet when I was selling really nice Luke Skywalker rookies, plural, for $1 because I could, right?
Yeah.
And it was my fun, so I had a Luke Skywalker rookie for $1. But then again, I had a really banging Darth Vader rookie for $10. I had a beautiful Kellogg's 1984 for 12. So you get it where you get it, but you don't have to price every card. And I just look at the totality of it all. Like, okay,
Right.
this card books for 8. I could sell it for 5 or 6 because I have the bulk and I don't need to do every card. And then also too, that's annoying because you got to spend time. I don't really care what comps are. I
Yeah,
know I just try to be fair, and once in a while I'll look something up and try to see what they are. And but that's the thing, is that's how I do it. Full disclosure, this is, I don't even know how many sales in a row, but I sold every card, like
yeah,
except for a couple. So when you're putting 300-400 cards out there and you sell everything but 8 or 9, that's pretty good.
yeah.
And quarter cards, 50-cent cards, dollar cards, and nothing too extravagant. A few cards are $5, $10. And then my quarter cards are good cards. I mean, you're gonna find, Tom Glavine rookies and Roberto Alomar rookies and things from the 70s and the 60s. And I just don't care because I know what I paid for everything. So I don't have to try to squeeze $1 or $2 out of that minor star, or maybe even a major star that doesn't have the value, or the 1950s, 60s, 70s cards. I can sell them for 50 cents because,
Right.
you look at the whole amount.
Yeah, I agree with you. And in that, I want to, talk about a couple things there. The guy that's selling the 78 McCovey for $8, he got it from me for $1.50. So,
I know.
that's a good example. You get a card for $1.50, you try to sell it for $8. I mean, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And it's sitting there. A 1978 Willie McCovey doesn't sell anywhere for $8. Not ungraded. Um, ask three or four if you're going to do that, but $8 is crazy. And you're right. I mean, I do think some of these folks, Mark, um, have a little bit different idea of what they're trying to do with this than you do. This is, you do your sales so you can fund other purchases. I think a lot of people do their sales and they see it as a side of extra income. So I do see sometimes maybe worrying more a little bit about what you're making, but at the same time, after a while, you should get an idea of what comps are, in the groups. And eBay doesn't really matter in the groups.
Mm-mm.
I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of
No.
times you see examples of us doing better than eBay because you've got more concentrated eyeballs. And I don't care what people say, eBay has more eyeballs. You know, I've
Yeah,
listed cards. I've listed cards on eBay and had one view in 24 hours, and I sold it in the groups in 12 minutes. So
exactly.
so it's different, and you just kind of need to read the room a little bit more. I think when you're selling and bring stuff that people want to buy, that's what you're a master of that, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it too. I
Oh
know
yeah,
what
you
people.
tell you got your lane, so to speak, and
Right,
give the people what they want. It's like, going to a Poison concert. You don't want
right,
to hear deep cuts off of Hollywood. You want to hear everything off of
right.
what the cat dragged in. Don't be
Yeah,
playing me like that. I want to hear talk dirty to me, right? Play the hits,
right. Yeah, give me some Fallen Angel, man. Let's go.
right? Yeah, man.
So, yeah, it's crazy how tone deaf some of these people are, some of the sellers are, and more power to them, man. We all only have the same amount of hours in a day, and if you want to put up sales that are going to have crickets, more power
Mhm.
to you. But read the room, learn your lane, sell stuff people want at prices that they'll pay, and that's really a pretty simple equation that I think you and I have both mastered.
Yeah.
So,
It's a quick
you know,
example, right? We were both in a cell, bought a bunch of cards, 50-cent cards, and there was $2 cards, $1.50, 2.50. Could have really, why bother? Why stretch it out? I paid 50 cents, so I could sell it for $1. I still made 2x my money. Not
right,
trying to chase 3x, 4x, 5x. I don't want it around anyways. Get it, gone, be gone. So you look at the totality of it all, and some of them I sold for 50 cents. And
right.
guess what? The ones I have left were 50 cents. I paid 50 cents. I sold them for 50 cents, and they're still sitting there.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, know your market too. That's a big thing. So, I reached out to that seller with the $8 McCovey and basically got a thumbs up when I said, "Hey, man, you might want to
Mhm.
lower your price a little bit." Some advice from somebody who sells a lot. That's not going to sell at $8. That's a lot. And basically, he got thanks. He thanks for the advice, and
Right.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I come into issues, and I think I see it in your sales a little bit, is because we're not like the high end guys, but we know what we're doing. You know what you're doing, no doubt about it. When we do sell some high end stuff, there's like, I don't know. You know,
Right.
like in my cell, I was impressed because, you know, I'm kind of been doing Star Wars Kiss, and I've got some more sports going in there now, just trying to get rid of all this stuff because I got, you know, thousands and thousands of these stupid 50-cent cards. And I had a couple really ass-kicking Star Wars cards in there. And actually, I underpriced them both, you know, but they were still significantly higher than what I usually sell. And it went, you know, so I was really impressed that those people, they knew what they were looking at. And one
Right.
was the Vader, you know, what's considered the Vader rookie card. And in that thing was probably going to grade like an 8. I mean, if they
Yeah.
sent it is so sharp. I have yet to see a raw Vader that nice. I sold it for $10, you know. And why
Yeah.
try to push it for 20 when you know what I
Right.
mean? When
And
you're
it
looking
just
at you,
sits.
right, you got to look at the totality of it. And the other one was that I wasn't going to sell it, but I'm going to get one graded. Was that 84 Kellogg's that I got in that sale, that
Yeah.
84 Kellogg sticker that's rare, like
The blue one.
the blue one. I sold that for
Did,
12.
did that
And
sell? Yeah.
yeah, like, well, that's $20, you know, card
Right.
regardless of condition. But again, why try to push it to 20 when I know what I paid for it?
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
don't be
Exactly.
greedy, right? Don't be
Yeah.
greedy. You know.
Yeah. That's the main thing is don't be greedy. And you
And when
bring
I
up a
got
good
that
point.
card, I sent you a message right away. I said, "Man, I just got one of the cards at the sale, and they don't even know it."
Right.
It
Yeah.
sat there for 4 hours, 4 hours before I got a chance to see it, and it was still there. And I was like, "Oh my God!"
Damn. Yeah, it's you bring up a really good point. I think when you pigeonhole yourself into a certain lane, when you break out of that lane, I do struggle with that sometimes. I'll price a Ryan Sandberg rookie at $10, and they go for 20, $30 in auctions at a minimum all the time, and it sits there for 10 and you got somebody offering 8. You
Oh,
do
the
tend
offers,
to,
exactly. They think we need
yeah,
the money, or we're poor sellers, or we're
right.
stupid. That's not the case. I only take offers from a couple people if I like them and they're my friends. Like
Right.
yesterday was, you know, Chris Woodruff. I took an offer on a card and sold it for what I paid for it. So I like the guy, but
Yeah,
otherwise, I'm not
right.
taking your offers. You know, I don't need it.
Well,
So whatever.
especially as cheap as you are with your cards, and as
Yeah,
and as I think I am,
you
50
are
percent
definitely.
50% of what I'm asking is not going to really do it. I had to put a post up, like a comment in my sale, just like, look,
I saw
I'm pretty
that.
I'm pretty cheap already, so don't get mad if I say no thanks to your offer, especially at 50%. So,
Yeah,
uh,
generally I just ignore it, but I do like to just go, no.
right, right. So while I
I
have
know.
you here, you're the expert. What is that?
That is
Is that a good one?
Leia. Yeah, it's a good one. Libra, it's a solid 75 center, really, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a
So it
decent
does not
card. I mean,
necessarily need to
obviously
be
the
the.
blues. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
want to penny
Cool.
sleeve that bad girl up.
Oh yeah, it's
So
sleeved,
I mean,
but
it's
I wouldn't.
crazy. Leah doesn't really have the value. I was shocked at what Han Solo rookies are going for now.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, I was talking to who was I talking to? I was talking to Breck Allman about how shocking it is in general, like what some of these Star Wars cards are going for now. Like the Luke Skywalker card, even in like a dog chewed condition, that thing's $10, like
Yeah.
in a wadded up ball, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
and it's crazy. Like just a fair condition Luke Skywalker rookie is 25, $30. You know, we were looking at the graded ones. Anything over a 4 is like $100 or more. I mean, you kidding
Right.
me?
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah. It was
PSA
crazy.
4
I was
is,
I was
yeah,
shocked.
like, and then you get into the sevens and the eights, and you're talking thousands, and then by some strange chance, if you got a 9 or a 10, you're talking comma cards there, right? A comma followed by
Yes.
zeros.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Nuts.
That's
I
comic
cannot
cards. I
believe
like
what's
it.
going on with Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But then like the Leah cards don't have a lot of juice. But you know, Skywalker and Vader are obviously the two big ones.
Right. Well. Yeah. Just if you take nothing out of this, people watching, just if you're gonna sell, just kind of you know observe maybe a little bit before you sell, and don't, because it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths when you're trying to charge them 3x what everybody else tries to charge them.
Also,
So
too, if you keep your prices, I'm pretty I won't sell anything that has, unless it's like super cheap giveaway that's, you know, really messed up, and it's just not my thing. But you know, by chance you miss something, somebody pays 50 cents for a card, they're not going to be too, I just got a freaking Series 1 Star Wars card for 50 cents. Hey, there's Scout, everybody. Everybody say hi to Scout. I'm sitting on the floor today. So, Scout, she loves to be a part of the show. So, there she is. I'll fire it up. So, if you're conditioned, just we all miss things sometimes. So when you're trying to squeeze every dollar out, you have to really, 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 really be aware of every little thing. So when you're
Right.
reasonable and then people are reasonable with you, like I don't know if you caught the mountain of kiss cards that I basically gave away for $5 just to cover the shipping. There's 150 cards in there that I wouldn't sell stuff like that. Whether it's
Right.
for a penny or a dime or I'm just not going to do it. But hey, here's 150 of these. These are happening in my sale. Everybody wants them. Here's your chance to have a pile of them. Go through it. Maybe some are salvageable, maybe some are decent, and
Yeah.
$5. There you go. So
Right.
that was 150 at $5. What is that? That's
3 cents a card.
yeah, 3 cents.
Yeah.
So all you
Good
need
deal.
is and there's a couple of Ace Frehley's in there that just had a wonky corner or something that, are probably a couple bucks. So if they're looking at it monetarily, there's definitely $5 there
Right.
somewhere.
Right.
You're gonna find it. But I can't, in good conscience, I could never try to squeeze that out for 25 cents a card or
Now, did you ever get tracking from that guy that you bought
no,
from?
no.
No,
And it's again, people, I don't
not
even.
in our group.
No, it's anything goes. I think it was
Yeah.
Todd Trocchia, or I'm gonna put it the thing in the show, his name. I'm gonna out the guy. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a week.
Oh
Unreal.
yeah.
And they're Kiss cards too, Series 2. I really want them. They're Series 2 Kiss cards, and I got a good deal
Yeah.
on them. I was going to pass them on to my people at a good price because again,
Right.
I got a good price for them, and the guy didn't really know what he had, so it wasn't a case of like the Laughlin Black Stars not knowing what you have, or you're going to say, "Hey, dude, you're selling these cards for like 50 cents. They're like 25, $30." So he was
Didn't you
selling
get
them for he was selling them for a buck a piece, Series 2, and
right?
they're nice, nice.
Well, that's cool.
So I could
So,
sell them for two.
yeah, I'm interested to see if that ever even
I
happens.
don't know. I have no faith in those other groups, those buy the newer cards and the buy, sell,
Yeah.
trade all cards and the anything goes. And it's kind of even vintage baseball cards to an extent is like the wild, wild west. I mean,
Yeah.
they talk some shit in there, man. Like they out people and it's like really nasty. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's not to disparage another group, but that group's gone downhill.
Mm.
There's no
Oh, it's
question.
terrible. It's horrible. Ours
Yeah.
is the best. That's we have some level of decency.
Right. Well, we'll ban your ass if you start talking shit too
Yeah.
much. So
But I'm loyal to it. That's where I made my mark in that group. Why would I want to go somewhere else?
right, right. So do you want to talk about today's games? Do you care at
You
all?
can. I really could. I don't care. I mean, I just hope somebody loses. I say this every year, painfully and hauntingly, and it gives you nightmares the rest of your life.
Yeah.
As long as both games end like that, I'm a happy man. Or you're just like, oh, you're like a Bills fan then. Now you know my pain every year. So today, whoever loses, I hope you lose horribly. And it's crazy and something that nobody's ever seen. Like, well,
Right.
I would say a home run throwback, but we've seen that with Buffalo. Missing the, no, we've seen that with Buffalo. Catching a pass and not, no, we've seen that with Buffalo. So I don't know.
Right,
Find a
right.
new people out there today. I hope your team finds a new and inventive way to lose that the Bills have not figured out how to do, and it
Yeah.
pains you forever.
Nah, damn. That's harsh. I'm pulling for Denver. I just hate New England. I'm pulling for Denver. I don't know if they have the horses with their backup quarterback to get it done, but we'll see. And then I think Seattle's going to wipe the floor with the Rams. So we'll see what happens, man. My picks are New England and Seattle, hoping Denver. So,
I'm going to
you
take
know,
the other. I'm going to go Denver and the Rams. I'm going to go with the road team, upset Warriors. Jared Stidham all the way. Drake May, not today. The Denver defense is, well, I'd like to tell you that for real, but the Bills had 5 turnovers and scored 30 points. So
right,
Denver
right,
defense must
exactly.
suck. All right.
Patrick
All that. I
Surtain,
can't say
who?
they got a good defense, though everybody else does because they don't. So
Yeah,
that's it. And
exactly.
they don't really have good offense either because we gave them 5 turnovers and it went right to the end. So, yeah, good luck, Denver, but I'm going to pull for them.
Yeah, well, the only thing I can say is they're in the Mile High City, and maybe New England will get gassed real quick, and Denver will just run right over them. So who knows,
All
man?
right, who
But
knows?
so anything else you want to talk about today,
That's
man?
all I got today. Just wanted to, get back out there and do a show and reach the masses and tell everybody thank you and we love you and thank you for
Absolutely. Happy
supporting
New
Greg
Year.
and myself on the show. Thank you for supporting us in our sales. And we really enjoy not just, obviously we move some cardboard, but we love the interaction with y'all, and that's what it's all about. So thank you.
100%. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody have a good day. Peace.